I like low-maintenance gardening, and succulents are perfect for that. They're like cactus, but they aren't cactus. What are they, and how do I care for them? Carrie Laymaster, our newest residential horticulture agent, is here with me today to explain all about growing succulents. Welcome, Carrie.
Thanks, Celeste.
Carrie, you have brought an array of really neat plants.
Yeah, and as you'll see here, we have succulents in all different textures and colors and shapes and sizes that are available to homeowners. When we start talking about what succulents are, we really use the definition that succulents are any plant with a really thick and juicy leaf to it, a plant that stores water for future use, as opposed to one that you have to water every day and things. Cactus are technically succulents.
Oh, okay.
They just have a spine, but they're good at storing water as well. What we have here today are just a lot of different kinds that you can use in containers, and the reason I love them is because they store water so well, you don't have to take care of them very often. You can leave them for a long time and just water them every once in a while when they're ready for it.
I think one of the things that surprised me is how much color there is to some of these plants, like this one in particular, hot pink. It's got white and green. Some of the other ones have some variations that are just so neat looking, and I can feel that they're all thickly leaved.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can look at here the difference between this purple one and the yellow one, and when you put them next to each other, that's when you really see those differences in things. And especially when we start looking at the shapes and those things. We have one like this one here, this string of pearls plant. And you can see how it would trail over the side of a container.
Very nice.
Or one like this blue chalk sticks. It would stand up and really add a nice vertical element as well.
So they're not hard plants to take care of?
No, they're about as easy as it gets, especially during the summer months. Because of our daily rains and things, you don't need to water them at all. One of the keys, though, is to have a really loose soil mix. And you can see here I have a special cactus and succulent mix, and it's very light and very airy. So we want to make sure that these plants have good drainage. In the bottom of this pot, I used what are called pot shards, basically a pot that got broken.
Yes,
it happens. So we just put some of those down over the drainage hole to make sure that we're getting good drainage and that water isn't sitting in the bottom of the pot. That's one of the biggest keys here, is to make sure that it's nice and light and that you're only watering them when they're necessary.
So I see you've made a couple of containers with several different succulents in them. Could we make one of those today?
Absolutely.
Now, what would your advice be?
Well, there's different things you can do.
soil.
One of the traditional things for containers to do is to do a thriller, a spiller, and a filler. So looking for different plants. If you want kind of a thriller, you know, a nice tall one like this.
You call this blue sticks?
Blue sticks,
Very
yeah. This
cool.
would be a good one to set in the back. If we want a spiller, this string of pearls, one that'll kind of cascade over the edge.
The side.
And then we have this nice one here with the purple stripes in it, and that could be our filler in there.
That
and you can
one.
see how the blue and that pink really play off nice to each other. And we have a lot of different combinations that we can make in here.
So you can go to it and you can see what that will look like in the end. And all of these have the same growing requirements, so they could all grow together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there wouldn't be anything different.
And they'll grow fairly quick, you know, just as you would with a lot of containers. You want to fertilize them probably monthly, just with a water-soluble fertilizer, just to keep them healthy and things like that. And one of the really great parts about succulents is most of these are very cold hardy.
That is good.
Yeah, and they'll really come into the color, their best color during the winter months. You can see this red tinge on this one here.
And a
if
lot
we
of
have
them have
cold
the
weather,
tinge.
it'll almost be all red, and especially when the sun comes through them, they're just beautiful.
Wow, they are beautiful. Carrie Laymaster, our newest residential horticulture agent, thank you for being here today and giving us all this information about growing succulents.
My pleasure.
If you want a garden that requires little maintenance, then succulents may be perfect for you. Add a few to your garden today.